Water jug. Morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. My voice sounds quiet, low, because I'm obviously just waking up. Well, not just waking up. I woke up about 50 minutes ago. I actually got up when my alarm went off, which I'm very proud of myself for doing. Which is, a thing that you should just do in general, but, YOLO. What else is here? Right, I was supposed to do that. So streams. YouTube. I am live. If I make this a window, at disable live stream. It looks like I have to do it manually every time to pull out the chat. I'm going to take this, and I need to bookmark this. Get chat. Where did I put that? Oh. Wow. I expected that to go. Anyway. Loading up the chat box, getting stuff ready for the live stream. Paying attention to Twitch chat. Time for Frostwolf Druid. That's right, Frostwolf Druid. So somebody actually, I was reading over some of the YouTube comments that I got. Thank you guys for watching and supporting my YouTube video. If you didn't, then why didn't you do it? I gave you 9 hours. You had time while I was asleep. Anyway, I was watching over some of the YouTube comments, and somebody had a good idea. They were like, hey, why don't you take Enlarge, so you can cast spells at a distance and you only cast spell-like abilities? And I was like, that's a great idea. Why don't I take Enlarge? Then I can call lightning from, like, the other side of this planet. So I think we're actually going to do that. How many hours left? It's what, 6 hours? Until Baldur's Gate 3? Or 4 hours? What does it come out at noon? America time? I don't know. Because I know when Baldur's Gate 3 comes in, that's when you're tuning out. Yep, Spellcaster Druid. I don't know what quest to do. Hold on, I'm gonna think of what quest to do. Dreams of Insanity? Will I be posting a build? I will be posting a build. In fact, I posted a YouTube video that kind of goes through everything you need to know about how to make this character. However, if you don't want to watch a YouTube video, I will be posting another build once this character is done. I've already made the decision I'm not taking this character to 30 because I'm not going to subject myself to trying to go through epics as a friggin' druid. But this character is so far very fun, and I want to be able to share that. The reason why I say not subject myself, it's important to note that in epics, all of these spells become functionally useless. So yeah, I don't want to try to work through that mess. I am. It's part of my brand new schedule, so you can always check the schedule on the Discord under the actual schedule section to see exactly when we're going to be live. But it's every day, so just check it anytime. Just guess. Go be viable as a healer? Yeah, I could be viable as a healer, or I could do something else. The answer is do something else. On Wiz King. But I already did Wiz King. However, I'm just gonna go run Dreams of Insanity real quick. No. So the next character after this, it's either going to be Warforged Artificer Melee, which is going to be a rework of the Mega Man X build that I made, the Maverick Hunter, on the forums. I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to go through and rewrite sections of the build to accommodate the fact that I will have updated based on the new strike-through rules and other things like that. So that's one of the two options. So it's going to be one of my next two builds. The other option is since I'm playing Caster Druid, I think it could be fun to try out other underplayed casters. And so Caster Favored Soul also seems pretty interesting. So I think I might do... It's either going to be that Melee Artificer, or I'll be doing Caster Favored Soul. However, not just any Caster Favored Soul. The plan is to do a Tiefling Scoundrel Favored Soul. So that way you're going to hear all those, like, viola strings as I try to do anything. No, I wouldn't be insulted. Those things can always come in handy in a lot of situations. One, you can sneak in any different drink of any kind. It doesn't have to be alcohol, since a flask can hold anything. So you can use it to hold your hallucinogenic drugs if that suits your fancy. And on top of that, it's a nice gift. Usually flasks look pretty good. It might come in handy. There might be a situation where somebody else that isn't you might want to use it. It's also good in like a costume. You're like, oh, I'm gonna be like a Southern gentleman as your costume, and they heal from lightning damage. Oh god, I forgot about that. The Iron Defenders heal from lightning. Okay. Don't care. Don't care. Going away. I don't give a shit. Can't hurt me, Reaper. Up early today. Yeah, people keep telling me that. I did actually get up early today, to be fair. What the heck? It can hurt me. No, go away. I did actually wake up early today, which is important. Important point. I got up this morning. I had myself a nice, warm, clean shower, and then I made myself some breakfast. So I had myself a delicious egg Sammy for breakfast this morning. That was pretty good. No complaints there. And yeah, so I'm up early and we're streaming. We will be here live for at least the next 10 hours. And also at most the next 10 hours, because I can't stream past 6 p.m. Because I have prior obligations. You need to stop with the puns you can't handle anymore. Sometimes, dude, you just gotta grin and bear it. That's all I gotta tell you. 24 hours? No, no, no. That's a different amount of time. That is different than what I said. That's what you said. So many Reapers. The Carter Reaper. Why is this guy alive? I'm gonna wolf druid the hell out of him. Epic Pickle redeemed a build review. That's exciting. What do you want? Hard alcohol. Recommended it hard alcohol for stainless steel. Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. You can put your hard alcohols in stainless steel. Like, there's a lot of things you can put in the stainless steel. As I said, you can put... But if you don't happen to drink alcohol and you need something to put in there, as I said, if you have any, like, other liquids that you just want to store discreetly, it's a good place to do it. If you buy Joseph, well, if you're on Arganesson, I give you Joseph. If you're not on Arganesson, I don't know what to tell you. Soul of Cruelty? Yeah, I don't like that. I'm gonna go. Gotta go. See ya. Joseph, he's a, like a out-of-combat pet. So the idea behind Joseph is he, like, he just follows you around. I'll show you the Joseph. It's just you need to get it only comes from hundreds on your daily dice roll. So, our daily gold rolls. Not daily gold rolls, on your gold rolls. I have daily gold rolls. And there he is. You can dress him up however you like. He's very, very rare. You want to get yourself a Joseph because I already got one. More life advice. Okay. So for your EK dwarf for your racials, working on one of 3. Do you have any particular preferences so that I have a direction to go in? For example, do you have a particular weapon type that you'd like to use? Do you have a particular amount of abilities? Do you care about spell casting? Is spell casting the thing? Like, are you designed to be like an Eldritch Knight? You are casting spells, you're doing your melees. It's supposed to be like this holistic package, or is it more like, you think it's kind of cool, you mostly just melee, you don't really cast spells in combat, and that's really the direction that you're going in? I ask because there's a lot of variety, those types of builds. You have a build on character creation already? Alright, that's cool. I said Joseph was a horse. I'm so sorry, I didn't say that. But if I did say that, I don't remember saying that. But I really, really, really don't think I did. Life advice. Bit of life advice that I'm trying to follow myself. If you find that, every once in a while you're having difficulty getting things done during the day and you find yourself not being a morning person, one of my biggest pieces of advice in that regard is try your absolute darndest to avoid a pitfall that gets many, which is the snooze button on your alarm clock. Once you start hitting the snooze button, it'll get you for the rest of your entire life, and you'll start hitting it every single day, and it'll be very difficult to avoid. It'll make you late for engagements, it'll make you late for work, it'll make you be slightly later for work, so you won't be able to get breakfast into you before you head out into work, you'll be kind of grumpy and tired, and it just overall will be a negative experience for you, the person who is alive. So, my recommendation, if possible, is to avoid hitting your snooze button, if you can, like 100%. Just fully commit to not even pressing the button whatsoever, because you're gonna need that, as it starts to hurt you. It's really weird because it's not that the snooze button is entirely bad, but a lot of people get stuck in this, and especially now, with everyone being stuck inside, and maybe you don't have as many plans on the weekends and stuff, because you're not hanging out with your friends as often, you're not doing as many group activities, you don't have as many people convincing you that you need to go outside and do things, and so you end up just not doing nearly as much as you used to, or not having as many reasons to get up in the morning. And that can be obviously a bit of a struggle for a lot of people out there, and my bit of advice is make sure that you're especially always taking the time to, you're not hitting that snooze button, you're getting up when you're supposed to, and you're starting to do things. I knew lots of people that weren't, my bag slots are full. Oopsie. So as far as your Eldritch Knight, I want to support the Eldritch Knight build and give you the best advice I can, but of course Eldritch Knight is a very particular thing. It has a lot of different ways you can build it. There's also different ways you can play it. Eldritch Knight is something that is not just like, oh yeah, there's one way to do it. Some people do the non-spellcasting route, where they actually just go like strength-based wizard and do a ton of damage. Some people do the Eldritch Knight, some people do, or the Pale Master. Oh shit. Oh shit, and there's a Reaper here? I'm almost out of mana though. So bad. And I'm afraid? How am I afraid? I need to stop this beholder. Oh my god. See, this is why I'm afraid of Thrackhounds, by the way. All these cyclonic blasts coming at me. Oh my god. Oh, so I gotta turn on my Warlock thing. On base used all the way to run an epic, get TRs, great axe, trying to get more PR and AC and not get reshotted on R6s. Well, if you're going to be a con-based character, just bear in mind you will have a significant disadvantage on most other different types of Eldritch Knights. Constitution to damage is not nearly as good as, like, Strength or Intelligence to hit, so that will be a limitation of your character. So just keep that in mind, that you will be kind of behind the curve in terms of being able to get single target damage out under any and all circumstances. If you want to do that, especially if you're going the Pale Master route, you don't really need to spend too many points in the Pale Master. You want to focus on getting negative healing amp, potentially, or most likely taking Wraith form or Zombie form. Jeez, sorry. Wraith Form is for fantastic additional defenses, getting yourself an extra 10% incorporeality on top of the additional incorporeality you can get just generally from the Pale Master tree. You wouldn't want to go tier 5 in Pale Master. It's pretty much always the necessary choice to go higher than that. But yeah, we can take a look into that build. Let me do that after this quest. We'll take a look as to what that would look like. Oh, so you're using strength to hit and damage, and then you're not using... You're playing as a dwarf who's using strength to hit and damage, but con is your main stat. Because you're worried about not dying. I see where you're coming from. I got you now. It's just swinging, but using buffs. Right. It's important to note that you do need to cast spells in combat to get your extra critical threat range or multiplier from your Eldritch Knight. So you will want to have something quick and easy that you can cast in combat. So I would say two-handed Eldritch Knight is very, very powerful, especially the strength-based variant, because if you're just using strength, you're just hitting people reasonably hard all the time. You want to be, making a bum rush for Knight's Training. What's it called? Knight's Transformation? And you also don't want to be investing into any of your wizard stuff until later, or not the Pale Master stuff, until you're at least level 7 and you have access to some of the better Pale Master abilities. So, to do something like that, you would say, okay, start with a high strength. You want to have an intelligence of, like, at least probably like 14. That way, with like ship buff and some tomes or basic intelligence items, you're essentially able to use all of the different spells that are available in the entire game. No negative levels. I'm good. Yeah, I don't really have a good way to move the border because it gets kind of cluttered. Oh my god, I got hit for so much damage. These flame strikes. Why do monster flame strikes do so much, but like me with hundreds of spell power can't get my flame strike to do anything? Oh my god, I got feeble-minded. Shit, I rolled a 1. Go, go, go. Oh my god. Terrified right now. Look at that, the whirlwind's coming out at me. Ah! And the orb just sliding through the wall. All terrifying like. God damn it. So yeah, so essentially you would go two-handed. You want to focus on strength and constitution as your main stats, so it doesn't really matter which one is entirely higher. You do want to make sure, obviously, that you're getting a 17 strength as a minimum for your base. If you started something like 16 strength, 16 con, and then with dwarf that would become 18 con, whatever it is, but that's how many points you're like initially willing to invest in your initial con build. And then at which point you could then just say, go, like I said, you're using Great Axe or Great Sword, whatever you happen to have. It's definitely a good idea to farm out some early powerful weapons. So whether that is getting like a Carnifex or something for some of the lower level questing, or investing in picking up. Obviously, this is a big one. Trying to get one of them Swords of Shadow. You stop casting that friggin' spell. Stop it. Stop casting spell. No, go away. Is my Twitch dead? Oh, I haven't dropped any frames. Oh no, Midnight's Fox, what are you doing? Well, you don't need an epic. Once you get to epics, it literally doesn't matter what weapon you use. In fact, instead of going with something like that, another good option is just go get any of the weapons from the... what was that place called? The Keep on the Borderlands? Keep on the Borderlands weapons are pretty good for pretty much all of your epic leveling needs, so you won't need to worry about that. As far as your feats go, you don't really need any of the main spellcasting feats, because of the nature of, you know, the fact that you're... Okay! I'm not going into this room. Because my spells don't count because I'm getting hit by beholders. Go away. I don't care. Okay, now I have negative bubbles. I have 4. Also, you can see them. I have regenerate, though. God. So terrifying. Good morning, Mesmerita. How are you? I usually use, like, I used to use my Barovian weapon, the level 10 one, all the way up until epics, or like level 30, before you get the Morning Lord one. So if you're looking for like a weapon, Keep on the Borderlands is going to keep you covered with a powerful weapon throughout the entirety of the process. Run in just a bit of wind. You know, that's not a bad idea. It's just a little bit of wind. Myself nice and safe. Yeah, for the most part, you want to take one meta magic feat at least. So you're definitely taking like Quicken. And outside of that, you have the rest of your feats from the wizard past lives. You don't really need Maximize and Empower because you're not generally doing spell damage. So instead, you could pick something up like either Evocation or Necromancy focus to allow you just to do potentially a little bit extra damage, or just pick spells that don't have saves, such as things like Shocking Grasp or as your like spell that you want to use in combat. Or you could also consider picking up Extend for haste and displacement. So probably Quicken and Extend would be two good feats to take from your wizard levels. Now the other question you have to ask yourself is whether you want to be going pure. The benefit of going pure is that it's better for going all the way up to the level cap. The downside of going pure is that you don't get other things like, say, potentially access to trapping skills from being as a rogue or something else like that, given that your character will have not the highest intelligence, but it'll have enough. So I'd say that's kind of, you know, another thing to consider is whether you want to go pure or not. Because there definitely is, you know, you can make an argument either way for one or the other being good. I think I got them all. What else is there as an option? Yeah, if you're planning on going as a pure wizard, like I said, you don't want to go as an undead into undead form until at least level 7. Any earlier is essentially you're just letting yourself lose, effectively. The reason why I say you're letting yourself lose is because you don't really get a benefit, because you think, oh, well, I can heal myself, though. But the problem is you can't really heal yourself, because you get access to Lesser Death Aura, and Lesser Death Aura is an extremely small amount of healing. It's only a single D4, and that's it. And if you're on Reaper mode, that usually gets rounded down to 0. So you want to wait for the regular Death Aura before you actually want to invest into that. 150 gigabytes. What is it, Call of Duty? Get it? Because Call of Duty is a really big file. It's a joke. On the internet? Why am I looting? My backpack as well. So yeah. I would do something along the lines of like starting with Quicken at the level 1 wizard spell, then Extend at the level 5 wizard spell, then probably picking up like Mental Toughness for some of the later wizard spells, or wizard feats. I don't know why I said spells, for feats. Grabbing most of the buff spells. Then you want to have something quick and easy. Spell-like abilities are not always the best. However, if you do want to put 1 point into Archmage, you can pick up the Magic Missile spell-like ability, and then quicken that instantaneously. The benefit of quickening the spell-like ability is that the Magic Missile spell-like ability is nearly instantaneous. It is almost an instant thing, and it counts as a spell for activating all of your Eldritch Knight stuff. So activating the, you have cast a spell recently, so you can just make sure you're tapping that button, and you're going to be getting all the additional, the +5 to hit chance from Force's Edge, as well as the extra critical threat, which is important. Greatest game currently out for turn-based RPGs. I'd like to posit that it's not currently out. Even still, it'll be in early access when it does release. I don't need the Crumbling Gloves to get out of my inventory. And I have a Memory of Hiding in Darkness. And I have a Stone Mail Plate. races like I'm farming out sets for level 21, 25, 26 and endgame. You don't really need that many sets. I would say that picking up the level 21, grabbing like a level 21 armor set, which is essentially just grabbing items that you want that make a good set from Keep on the Borderlands. It's also important to note that instead of doing Keep on the Borderlands and a level 21 armor set, instead you could just use Sharn gear. Appropriately crafted heroic Sharn gear is exceedingly powerful and is going to give you pretty much the same amount of stats, if not even more stats. So that's probably a better option, I would say. Also, I gotta do my daily dice roll. Like a lot, if you don't want to farm out Sharn, then Keep on the Borderlands is also a good option. Ooh, 96. Oh, 97! Plus Tome of Fate +1 and exclusive hair dye, Jarasco's Son. Cool. Wow, that was lucky this morning. I have another Tome of Fate. God, I don't need these. I have so many books of Tomes of Fate that I've gotten just over the years. It's like I'm excited that I got this treasure, but I'm not excited because I just don't need it. I kind of want to do one more level 11 quest before I go and take my next level. Thought of Whisper Doom, maybe. I don't want to do Made to Order. I don't want to do From Beyond the Grave. I don't want to do Enemy Within. I don't want to do Desert Caravan. I don't want to do And the Dead Shall Rise. Ugh. I guess we do Spawn of Whisper Doom. Probably fine. It's not really dangerous. It's just, I'm worried about running out of mana. As far as your epic feats are concerned, and as I said, if you're playing as a two-hander, your feats are really straightforward. You know, two-handed fighting, improved two-handed fighting. You will likely want to take power attack just because you can. You can't use... you won't actually be raging, so you could also use precision if you wanted, which is nice. Most characters will have some type of rage effect. Granted, if you want to use rage effects in epics, you will need to take a little bit of care as to what you're actually using. This person's character looks really good. Look at that outfit. They're like a rogue. Oh, sure. Hi. Your character looks cool. Oh yeah, weather. I missed that. Thank you for the reminder. It is, where did you want me to tell you the weather of? Titan, Moon of Saturn? Well, there's an article about it, published in Science, that I don't currently have access to because I'm not a member. This is hard. What is the weather today? I don't know how I'm supposed to tell you what the weather is, because there's not a lot of good information here. There's even like a daily column. And most of these things are like from 2019 or even earlier. I'll do my best. This is the best we're gonna get, I guess. It's gonna be difficult to get this done, but here we go. This is Titan. If you guys haven't seen it, it's the largest moon around Saturn. This moon is actually featured in the video game Destiny 2, if you saw Destiny 2, so that's pretty neat. So check that out. It is 906 million miles from the Earth. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Go to kilometers. Yeah, 1.4 billion kilometers away. And it takes 81 minutes for light to get there because it's so far away. And it is pretty far from Saturn as well. Over a million kilometers from Saturn because it's pretty big. Titan's big, and there's the 10 things you need to know. As a slow sunrise, it takes 16 days to orbit Saturn and rotate once. God, where do I find weather? I don't know how to get temperature, dude. I'm struggling here to find the weather of this planet. Titan is an icy moon with a surface of rock-hard water ice, but Titan also has liquid water ocean beneath its surface. That's kind of cool. Titan is the only moon with an atmosphere, which is mostly nitrogen, like Earth's. Titan doesn't have a moon, but it is possible for moons to have moons. That's kind of neat. And it is bitter cold, because Titan's air is dense enough that you can walk around without a spacesuit, but you need an oxygen mask to protect you from the bitter cold, because it is actually very, very cold on Titan. So for most places on Titan, you're going to be looking at temperatures of around minus 179 degrees on the surface. So today it's going to be a pretty cool day. Make sure you bring your oxygen mask and your full covered space suit whenever you're heading out onto the surface of Titan, because it is going to be a chilly one. On top of that, you can also find rain falling on the actual surface on the surface of Titan, and the rainfall is at 3.5 miles per hour, which is much slower than Earth. So these big gobs of rain, be careful, especially if you're driving your car. You don't want to have these large gobs just coating the front of your windshield, freezing, and then you die. So keep that in mind. And that's all the information I got for the planet today. It's really cold, and you're definitely going to die if you go outside. But look at it. Look at it. It's really pretty. It's got all these colors. Titan. How cool is that? Again, when you give me places in space, it's very hard. Finally did your TR this weekend. It was your Wizard, though, so the bonus wasn't as good. Wizard is one of the best past lives in the whole game. Almost every spellcaster takes it every time. Check it out. So, you look at the Wizard past life, right? And you're like, oh, it's just +2 spell pen. Who wants that? Well, the answer is everybody. If you cast any type of spell that needs to penetrate spell resistance, the game is designed around you having 3 of these past lives. So, like, if you want to go beat the Drow in the Underdark and cast spells on them, sorry, if you don't have 3 Wizard past lives and the best spell resistance or penetration items available to your character at any given moment, you can't do it. So it's really good. On top of that, Past Life Wizard, Arcane Initiate, is +1 to all DCs, which is God tier. Highly recommend. You want to see the character creation? I can send it to you. Yes, that would be cool if you have that. You have when you say character creation, do you mean like did you make a sheet, or are you using a character builder? Is there like a file that you have? And the puns are great. And yeah, it's only you. Wait, I'm buffering. No, I'm not buffering at all. I literally haven't dropped a single frame. It is more exciting in New York. Well, it rains gasoline there, that's all I know. Methane gas. Wait, stream has been bad. Is it still bad? I hope it's still not bad. Come on, Twitch. What's happening here? Yeah, I've got literally no issue here. But yeah, if like I said, for the actual character creation, if you want to either send me some of the basics of what you have, like if I was to go through it real quick, give you some pointers on that. Let me see if I can actually get that loaded. I have a character builder. Character builder. Desktop. DDO builder. This program takes a while to load. I'll give you the quick rundown once we get here, because I feel like I like having the time to do that. Will they announce something this week with the update? I don't know. At most we ever get is a week in advance, so it's really hard to say. All right, file. Open one of these files. Hey, look, it's a halfling assassin rogue. All right, so hypothetically, let's make a couple adjustments here. So right away, let's say which one? No, not that. Not the skills. Dances, spells. Oh, don't do this enough. Where's the actual level up? Is it this? Yeah, level up. Yeah, I don't know why that's not. No. Yeah, so we've got the level up. So here's how you're going to do this. So obviously, you're not playing as a rogue on this character. Your level up is wizard. If you want to be a wizard, yep, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Yep, I know. Oh no, I don't want to be cutting in and out. Turned just bad a bit ago. Oh no, that's weird. Because like I said, I'm having no frame drop issues on my end. So that's not good. So if you're playing as that type of character, obviously you said you were going to be a dwarf. You can use this to min-max into whatever character that you want. Yep, that's fine. This is EK / Palemaster. You would do something along the lines of like... let's just reset all this. Okay, so you do something like a 16 con and 16 strength and like 14 int, and then that kind of leaves your points to be wherever you want it to be. You don't super need to use magic device, so that's an option to get some extra charisma if you wanted, but you don't really need to spend any points in strength or anywhere else. You could probably even bump yourself up to a 16 intelligence if you wanted, grab yourself a little bit more charisma. I'm assuming if you have like a 36 point build, I don't know, you said you're reincarnating, so I'm assuming you've got that as an option. And then as far as your actual points go, you want to make sure you're at least putting 1 point into strength, so you can go like all constitution if you want to have more defense and do less damage, but at least 1 point into strength, so that way your character will have a 17 strength for all of the different feats that require it. It's entirely up to you however you would like to build that. I personally would go more strength because you're already going to have a lot of constitution being a dwarf, but that is your prerogative, and then the tomes, you can leave it there. This is Matrum's DDO Builder. I can probably link it in the chat. Why do you have a 10 wisdom? That I don't understand. As a Palemaster and as an undead, you don't have, like, you pretty much ignore all will effects. You can't be held, you can't be commanded, so, like, you can just ignore pretty much everything. Yeah, Matrums. Let me see if I can link it. Level up in con. Okay, so again, you need to have 1 in strength. If you don't have 1 in strength, your character doesn't work. You immediately break your character. So you need a 17 strength. Like, I guess if you have tomes, yeah. If you have +8 tome, then you're fine. But yeah, so wisdom you don't need. Yeah, you can have some dex if you want, because it gives you a little bit of saves. But again, you also don't particularly need that. Right, so these are like your different options. As far as your skills go, your skills don't really matter. Got what? Skills? I don't know why I don't get any tooltips right now. It's very annoying. But as far as your skills go, they really particularly don't matter. Whether you actually, what you put the points into. So if I clear all skills, essentially you just want like spellcraft. So that's pretty much it. You just want some spellcraft and like use magic device. And then other than that, you don't need concentration because you're pretty much always going to be turning on Quicken all of the time. So this is basically just useless. You could take it if you want, but you don't need it. You can take Repair if you want to repair people. You can take Heal if you want more negative spell power. You can take Search if you want to be able to search stuff. You can take Swim if you want to swim fast. All these are different options. Balance is fine. There's never really a bad thing to say about balance, especially because it's always going to be useful if you're playing in any type of melee. So that's also a good option to be able to get yourself back up after stuff, but yeah. Me too. I personally like the DDO Builder Lite because it was, as it said, it was light. It was very easy to quickly go through and detail out a build, but it's currently not being updated, so that's where we are. But yeah, so then that's essentially how you do the skills. They don't matter too much for the most part. As far as your individual feat selection, you've got a lot of different options. So as I said right away, for your wizard feat, you get to pick a meta magic, and you get to pick from this list. I would take like Quicken spell. And then for another meta magic feat, you could take Extend spell. So you got Extend. For another meta magic feat, you could take like Mental Toughness. For another meta magic feat, you could take Improved Mental Toughness. And then at 20 for wizard. Again, you don't really need pretty much any of these spells. They don't really matter too much, so it doesn't matter which one of these you take. But then this way, you're kind of just spending all your wizard feats on these extra things. Humble jump. You don't need jump because you cast the spell jump, which gives you plus 30. And you're a strength build, so you don't need to put points into jump. That's one of the reasons why I don't recommend it, because you get the spell jump as a wizard, which gives you plus 30 to jump. And then jump has a cap of 40, so if you have any amount of strength at all, so let's say you're level 30, you get plus 10 jump for free, because each epic level gives you plus 1 to all skills. And then you've also got your strength. You're going to be around 20 jump, plus 30 is going to be 50. You don't want extend at level 1, because you don't have any spells you can extend at level 1. So you don't want that. You'd rather take something like quicken, so you can quicken some of your spells. I would swap quicken and extend. In theory, you could extend your buffs, but your buffs cost 10 points. So you would spend 10 points to have twice as long buffs, but they already cost that much. Oh, you have Completionist? Yeah, you can take Completionist at level 6 for sure. And then, yeah, two-handed fighting, power attack. You can grab Cleave if you want to make sure you've got your Cleaves. Did you send it to me? Because you can send me your file on Discord and we can take a look at it if you want. If you have the file, you can just take it from where it is and just open a message with me on Discord and literally just drag it and drop it in. And I can take a look at it. Or you can send it to me in an email at shrimptom.com. Not shrimptom.com. Shrimptom@gmail.com. I don't have my own email domain. Titan moon of Saturn. Titan's a very cool moon. It's basically a planet. It's Earth. It's about the size of Earth, which is pretty neat. It's about the size of Earth and with a similar atmosphere. It's just a zillion jillion miles from the sun, so it's very, very cold. You didn't see I had Discord? Absolutely. We've got a Discord server with like a ton of members. I don't even know how many members we have. It's a lot. I could check. A lot of members in the Discord. Does it tell me? Apparently I have 300 members in the Discord. Look at all these people. Oh, so many people. Oh, oh, if you're on Twitch, below the stream, there should be a link to the Discord with a big button if you want to join that, and you can send me a message easily. Alternatively, as I said, you can send me an email. If you don't know how to send me an email, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. This is a little wave. This is a little wave. Here, I'll respond with a wave. Here we go. Hey, there you go. Hello. Okay. Drag and drop the file on here, and it will. Yeah. Like the actual file. So, if like you're, for example, I'm gonna drag and drop one here. Just something like that. The actual build template. So just drag it and drop it. Is this an Eldritch Knight build? Yes. I'm gonna go through and critique an Eldritch build. I have a build critique thing, so for points you can send me your build in whatever format you like. Either we build it together here on stream, or I just critique it. That's the idea. And so I just need to get the build, and once I have it I can critique it. Ah, there it is. Okay, cool. Thank you for your build. I don't know where the builds get saved. Is it under my documents? I think it's under my documents. Okay. Okay. I'm just loading it up, and we'll take a look. $480 HP. A level 480 HP, that's kind of weird. You get a lot of health as a Eldritch Knight. I'm just close this one. Do I save changes? No. Okay. So Here's your build. As I said, you don't need wisdom. So if I was to adjust this and make some changes, obviously with the +8 tomes, that's good. I would take the points out of wisdom and put them pretty much anywhere else. Dexterity would be a good option to get some extra reflex saves. Charisma would be a good option to get some more use magic device. Similarly, you want to be tankier, so reflex saves is going to be where you're at. But yeah, you don't need wisdom, because as an undead, your will saves are pretty much irrelevant. As far as some of these individual feats, I would definitely recommend taking Quicken Spell first, and then taking Extend Spell later. At low levels, you don't have any spells that can be effectively extended. Technically, when you get to level 3, you do pick up the undead form, but you don't want to take the undead form at level 3. I cannot stress this enough. Don't take undead form. Healing potions are better than being an undead form. Don't take undead form. When you get to level 7, that's when you get to pick up on your spell list. At level 7, that's when you get to pick up on the spell. You get the level 4 spells. You can immediately pick up Death Aura to heal yourself for an actual real amount, or Negative Energy Burst. But until you have these spells, being undead is a death sentence. It is going to get you killed way more times than it's going to save you, and it is a complete and absolute waste of time. Please don't put points into the Pale Master tree until you're at least level 7, no matter what type of character you're playing. The only exception is if you want to get the Skeleton Knight to fight for you, but if you're planning on just playing as a melee, please don't use Lesser Death Aura. If you just read it, it's a horrible, horrible spell. 1d4 every 2 seconds. That's 1 to 4. That means 25% of the time it heals you for 1. And then your potions heal you for half. That's insane. Just use a single potion. Crazy talk. Please don't use Lesser Death Aura. Don't do it. So that's why I would make that swap there. Cleave is fine. Eschew materials. You can for sure take this. It really doesn't matter. Yes, this doesn't matter too much in what order you take this. So this seems perfectly fine as far as the feats. Greater two-handed fighting. Master of the Dead. I don't think this spell actually works. This feat actually works. But honestly, there's not much else to take here other than Overwhelming Critical, which you already took. Perfect two-handed, perfect two-weapon. No, you do not want Epic Negative. You want this spell, this feat. Dire Charge. Dire Charge is the best thing ever. You're playing a strength build, you're gonna have stunning. You're gonna want to stun things. You don't have access to a lot of the good spellcaster stuff, so you don't have like mass hold monster and things. You want Dire Charge, so that's kind of important. And then you got Wellspring of Power. I don't know why you took Wellspring of Power and set Scion of the Plane of Fire. Well, you don't really cast a lot of spells with this build. You don't have the power to cast spells. So I wouldn't recommend taking Scion of the Plane of Fire if you wanted to stay at camp. I'd recommend Arborea because it's going to do more damage for you. Arborea is pretty much going to be better in all cases because Plane of Fire gives you a little bit of fire damage on hit, which is kind of interesting. But what do you do when those monsters that you're fighting are immune to fire? You're boned. Alternatively, if you have Scion of Arborea, it just increases your base damage, which you always have. You just hit people. As well, it gives you Force Spell Power and Universal, which means it actually still scales a lot of your abilities like your Eldritch Tempest. Wellspring of Power is a feat. Again, not the best feat. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. You can cast Haste on yourself, so you don't need to worry about actually having Haste as a feat. I would probably take something along the lines, because you said yourself you want to make sure you're not dying. Possibly Epic Damage Reduction to increase your physical resistance rating by 10. Another option would be Epic Reflexes so that you don't fail reflex saves on a 1, so you can then bump up your reflex saves with that extra base dex that you chose to make it so your character doesn't fail saves on a 1, so you can become no fail on those saves, giving you a whole bunch of additional defenses. That's where I would put my money instead of that. So that's probably how I would change that for some of the feats. As far as the actual enhancement tree goes, load this up here. How do you have this spent, but you don't have enough points spent in the tree? Either way, the Capstone of Pale Master isn't worth it to take, by the way. Giving up Eldritch Knight means your character's going to do way less damage. This is Double Strike, Spell Sword die, as well as the Eldritch Power, which is a huge increase in damage. Again, if your goal is to be tanky, but by taking the top tier aura here and not taking Eldritch Blade, you're losing a big amount of damage. like a big amount of damage. This is like 20% increase in damage. So it really depends on the limits of what you want to do. I would highly recommend, having done this, I've literally done this, I would highly recommend not taking the capstone here, Embrace the Void, and instead grabbing the Eldritch Knight capstone instead. So I would recommend doing that. So for example, if I was to respec this just a little bit to get a little bit more points, a little bit more stats in here, and no points in Archmage, you just get rid of that Pale Master, get rid of this Eldritch Knight. Dwarf Tree, this other stuff doesn't matter. I have 79 points to spend. Oh yes, because it took the Rachel point. So I want to cast here, no, not Eldritch Toughness. You want Arcane Siphon. This is just an attack that does a bunch of damage and gives you universal spell power. This is insane while leveling because it means you can cast really, really strong spells and association with it. You want to be taking the improved shield and everything else. You don't need to put any points into Eldritch Accuracy, so you don't do that. You take Spell Sword, you take Imbue the Blade. You're not putting points, because you're not putting any points in Eldritch Accuracy, you can put your points in other places. Action boost spell power as well as the synergetic magic is really good, because effectively this gives you access to, both like 2 action boosts for the price of 1, and your character is always going to want some level of action boost. On top of that, you can pick up Strength here if you like, which is nice. You can even pick up the Arcane Barrier, which is pretty cool. Your character's not using a shield, so you don't need the offhand defenses. Pick up Subtle Force. Force's Point is God tier because it gives you an extra +5 to hit and damage. This is really good. Considering you're playing as a 2-handed build, you're going to be missing out on all your hit chance. You want to grab Knight's Transformation, and then you have the armor proficiency. You want to make sure you take this medium armor so you can use a lot of the good armor choices, and you can grab some more strength here. And then, of course, you grab Subtle Force, you grab the improved Knight's Transformation. You're going to grab Knight's Striker, probably, because you're not doing any enchantments. Force's Edge, again, amazing. Eldritch Tempest, you really want. You could grab Radiant Force Field if you want to be even tankier. This is a very good option. But this is kind of how I would build this for giving you as much damage as possible, especially considering you can't get Constitution here out of the tree. Then you ask yourself, okay, well, how do I spend my points in other places? As I said, if you take Archmage and you go with Evocation right here with this Magic Missile, this means because this is a spell-like ability and you can use this all the time and it costs nothing, this is always going to be activating your Force Point and Force's Edge. As you walk into combat, you just jam that Magic Missile. It's almost instantaneous with your spell cast because you have Quicken on it, and it gives you +1 Competence bonus to critical threat range. As well, it's going to give you +1 to hit and damage, and then you can keep stacking that up as long as you cast it every once in a while you're walking around. Thanks for the hydrate. Then we look at, okay, we have points left. We got 37 points. Where do we spend them? And that's where we go into the Pale Master tree, because you have a couple different options here. As I said, negative energy conduit, very, very good. You want that negative healing amp. Negative crit is good for healing yourself. As far as your shroud, you had originally chosen the Lich here, which is an interesting option. For a melee, I would highly recommend the Wraith because it gives you 10% incorporeality as well as sneak attack damage, which is going to be more impactful for your character. 10% miss chance for enemies to hit you is exceedingly good. So good. Highly recommend it. Cloak of the Night is horrible, so you're going to grab negative energy criticals here. You can grab additional health as well if you want, just because there's not too much else to grab. Good morning, young man. Grab some more healing amp. And then as part of the undead augmentation, I don't like the fact that these all look the same. You want to grab incorporeal mischance, so you have 20% incorporeal mischance, because that's really good. You can grab some more constitution if you want to be even tankier here, and grab some more health. You don't need a second shroud toggle, so I would recommend doing that. You also don't need Unholy Avatar, because you're not as undead caster, so you don't need to bypass the immunity. In fact, even when playing as a Wizard, Eldritch Knight, you don't, not even, if you're a pure Pale Master, I don't even take this. This is a waste of time. Negative spells don't deal a lot of damage. I would, in almost all cases, you just cast Meteor Swarm, or Delayed Blast Fireball, or something else. It's not worth it to take. And then out here, you don't need any of these DCs, so your next option, you could take an extra 15 hit points if you want for 1 point. You could take Ghost Touch on all attacks if you want. And then after you've done this, maybe grab the extra con. You're pretty much out of points. You've taken all of the good stuff. You have all the good stuff in Eldritch Knight. You have all the good stuff in Pale Master. You have the thing you need out of Archmage. So essentially now you can spend your points wherever you want. So let's just say you said you want to be tankier. Now you can spend some more points in the Dwarf tree. If you're using a Great Axe, you can grab the Dwarf Weapon Training here. You know, you can pick up the Iron Stomach to be able to remove effects off of yourself. You can pick up the Dwarf Tactics for having better DCs. These are a lot of good options. But this is how I would currently build the enhancement tree. Heck, you could even go with the Radiant Force Field, since Radiant Force Field gives you a 25% damage reduction effect, and it only costs 1 point, so it's pretty good. And then you have points to spend. So this is how I would do this for sure. As I said, it's not that this Embrace the Void is, like, bad, but it's not worth it in comparison to the insane DPS loss. And you get less health, because this gives Constitution as well. So you are less tanky, and you have a massive damage loss. So again, if you want to be soloing and doing content, Eldritch Blade's where it's at. If you want to be walking around, then Embrace the Void is where it's at. That would be my recommendation. It's not something you would know ahead of time, so don't, like, you know, beat yourself up over that. That's just, you know, it's an observation that I learned from actually playing through it. That's kind of here. And then lastly, Epic Destinies. I don't think you did Epic Destiny, because there's Divine Crusader here. But I wouldn't recommend Divine Crusader. If you're playing in a character like this, you're either going to be playing in Fury of the Wild, so you can Fury people, getting all the stuff like Bloodbath, you know, strong swings for the extra melee power, a whole bunch of stuff like that. Or you're going to be playing in Legendary Dreadnought, and just taking all the good stuff out of Legendary Dreadnought, like Headsman's Chop. Oh, Headsman's Chop with a great axe. Headsman's Chop. So those are your two options. Yeah. Everything else is bad. Yeah, so if you're playing in Fury, then you're playing in Fury. This is what you want. And you would do something like, give me everything in Fury, yay. And you'd be like, oh, you want Wild Primal Scream, and you want Boulder's Might, because Boulder's Might is just like, just good. I think it's only, isn't this only a 1 rank? I don't remember. You want Fury Acute, you don't need fast healing, all this other stuff is pretty bad. Grab physical resistance rating if you want. You don't need spell resistance. You grab strike through. Grab your sense weakness because it's really good. You want to grab overwhelming force. You want to grab fury eternal because that's hilarious. Strong swings is amazing. Devastating blow is amazing. You want to take that and that, and that's kind of how you build your tree. Go in fighting. You need 3 in Boulder's Might for the crit multi increase. Oh, do you? Okay. I haven't played Fury in quite a while. Not since the changes. But yeah, so you would do like that. Yeah, so you do something like this. Get the extra 10% strike through, you get the sense weakness for your dire charge, you get overwhelming force, because overwhelming force means that when you ever hit anybody with adrenaline, they become knocked down, and they are essentially helpless. So they're taking extra damage, and you do extra damage anyway, so it's 30% right there. And it also means you can perma-stun. You can literally stun lock any monster you want in the game. That's not a red name. Unbridled Fury is for the Damahe. And yeah, that's how you do it. And then, of course, but what should I twist? The answer, invariably, of course, is always Marshal Hymn, because it's the best thing ever. You always, always, always want to twist Marshal Hymn. Marshal Hymn. Doesn't matter what else you twist. Just twist Marshal Hymn. You'll be happy. And that's it. That's pretty much how I would tweak the character. I'm going to send this back to you, so you'll have that as a point of reference. But that's how I would do it. That's the adjustments I would make as far as the individual process. Everything else you seem to have gotten pretty well. Just to save this. I'll send it back. Cool. There we go. That's Strimtom's build reviews. That's the first incarnation of that I've done. So hopefully that was helpful. You enjoyed that. You got to learn something. It was good for you. If it wasn't, I don't know what to tell you. We need to get a coffee after this quest. We only 1 weather report per day? It's not 1 weather report per day. It has a half-an-hour cooldown. It has a half-an-hour cooldown, so it's not too obstructive. Maybe Mercury later. Mercury. It's really, really hot on the surface when you're facing the sun. When you're not facing the sun, it's actually very, very, very cold. Freezing cold, in fact. Also, Mercury is so close it's basically tidally locked, which means the sun, or the planet, doesn't really rotate. 1 year is shorter than 1 day on Mercury. How cool is that? Science rules. Bill. I don't know. Yeah, eat bees! How much does bees do? Is that going to kill that thing? Yeah, my bees do kill that stuff. Hell yeah. Once you hit your spaceship, you need to know where to go. That's true. I mean, you're heading out among the stars. Can't blame you. Want to know where all the hot destination spots? Where am I going to find the most fun people? Where are the best beaches in the galaxy? The answer? Not Mercury. Probably Earth. Probably Earth has the best beaches in the galaxy. If I had to pick any place to have good beaches, I'd pick Earth. Yo, I lava that beach. Know what I'm saying? Get it? Funny? No? Okay. You guys see that, like, Disney Pixar short about, like, the lava, the volcano? You guys remember that one? That was pretty good. I remember being confused initially, then being like, oh, that's sweet. Then I saw that Disney Pixar short, the one with the bow buns, with, like, the mom and everything else, and it was a very, very interesting short, but it was, I remember watching it being like, what the hell is going on? That was a weird one. Okay, so do my dots do a lot of damage? Yeah, they do. Does this tick up? Does Creeping Doom tick up? No, it doesn't. Weird. Go away. Yeah, it's not the worst option. Anyway, that's what we got. I do like doing the reviews. Hopefully, if you have any questions or builds, if you don't have Matrim's DDO Builder, I mean, obviously you can submit things on spreadsheets or however you want to build it, or in a napkin. You take a picture of whatever you scribbled on a napkin and send it to me. Then I can review it. Either directly to me on Discord or on another source. My Discord DMs are open. I don't have them, they're not like private, so I don't care. I gotta put a cooldown on that. I gotta put a cooldown on that. Life advice. You have nothing else to spend this on. I know, that's my worry. What is a good bit of life advice for this morning? What is a good bit of life advice for this morning? Something that would be, I'm trying to think of something that would be very insightful and potentially, like, useful for you in the long term. You know, something that you can carry with you for the rest of your life. But sometimes I might be thinking too big. It's okay to start small. And oftentimes, when you're trying to come up with an idea, or you think, you know, oh man, I want to do something, I want to create something, some people can get wrapped up and take on projects that are too big for what they can even accomplish. It happens all the time, especially when people want to come up with cool ideas for doing different programming projects or things like that. Say somebody wants to create a mod, or you want to create a user skin for DDO. You might have a great idea for a project and something in mind, but it might be outside of the scope of either what you're capable of doing yourself, or you have even the skill set to do. And it's very easy to get started working on something, find out it's very difficult, or that it's harder than you initially imagined, or taking longer than you initially imagined, and then getting discouraged and giving up. So my bit of life advice for you, for the people watching this morning, is make sure when you're starting, especially a new project, start small and get an understanding for how much work something is going to take before you fully commit to an idea. You want drinking advice? Oh, yeah, I can give you some drinking advice. Number one, have some friends with you, because friends are really fun, either with you digitally or in person, but obviously because of the coronavirus, try to stick with the digital for now. And on top of that, if you've never had anything to drink before and you're not entirely sure how to do it, as I said, try to follow some form of like guide and enjoy, like, to really fully enjoy the experience. Don't drink alone as well. I don't recommend drinking alone. You can. It's just, it is a potential breeder of a bad habit, because there are lots of people who drink alone and it causes them distress in their general life. So as I said, it's not something I would recommend towards everybody. So if you have the opportunity either to spend some time with friends, that's always going to be a better option. One way to enhance your drinking experience is through something called drinking games, creating a fun game around something that you already enjoy to improve your drinking experience. It's one of the reasons why we do Drink Souls. I like Dark Souls. It's a really fun video game. You know what's even more fun? Layering a drinking game over top of it. It makes both the game more challenging and also all of the situations more funny and entertaining. So that's also potentially a good idea. As far as specifically what to drink, just whatever you think might be tasty. Get a recommendation from a friend. So ask somebody, say like, hey, you know, what do you like to drink? So like as an option, you know, for me personally, what did I start drinking? Like, I didn't know what to drink at all. So one of the first times I drank, I was at this party and this dude just had this big ass bottle of Jägermeister, and I was like, he was like, oh yeah, he was talking about something. And he was just drinking the Jägermeister straight. And I was like, I don't know. I just think I mentioned to him. I was like, oh, you know, I wasn't drinking. He's like, oh, where's your drink? And I was like, oh, I don't drink. I never have, really. And he was like, oh, here. And he just grabbed a glass and then just poured me a bunch of Jägermeister. So the first time I got, like, drunk with my friends was just drinking a lot of straight Jägermeister. That was a good time. That was a very good day. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, vodka sucks. I have vodka, and I put it in a lot of things. Vodka lemonade's really good. It's pretty easy to make work, because you essentially just put a lot of lemonade together, and you don't even notice that it's there. If it's summertime and you want to have a really good experience, I highly recommend the combination of Malibu rum and lemonade. So this is, you know, not healthy territory. But anyway, take an entire, from one of those frozen from concentrate things, those, like, you know, frozen lemonades, and take that, pour that into like a, you know, a drink container, and then instead of adding water or whatever, take an entire thing of Malibu rum, the coconut rum, and just dump that over top of it, and then mix the two together. That's a strong and very tasty drink. Here, you want something easy? Sold by one of my favorite artists in the world, Mr. Worldwide, Ye Old Fireball. That's a good one. Eat moon. I'm trying to kill everything slowly. And I have to go to ultra mana conservation mode. So many webs. And chase with beer. Yeah, I don't know. Beer is not my favorite thing. I like different beers, but there's some people that are like, oh man, you gotta drink beer. That's like what you do. Everybody drinks beer. It's like, yeah, beer's fine. It's good. Like, I'm not gonna tell you that it's not a good product, but I don't particularly need it. I'm ignoring that Reaper that's over there. It's an aggro, so I don't care. Still running out of mana. Goddamn. Souls! Yes. Suggested Warlock build for newer First Lifer to push on activities? Yeah, absolutely. If you literally just go through my YouTube channel, like 2 of the 3 past videos or whatever are Warlock build guides. I made one for every hardcore build, Warlock build as well is also really good. And each of my hardcore build videos are all, they might say hardcore on the top, and you might be like, but I'm not playing hardcore. Yeah, but hardcore means you're starting as a First Lifer. So all of these builds are designed to work effectively solo as a First Life character. So they're extra defensive for hardcore, which means you can tweak it to be a little less defensive if you want for your own personal, you know, play experience, or just take them as is. They all work. More mana. I missed the spider. Where did I miss it? I missed it here.
The magical wards have lost their power now that the Cthulhu.
Morning, did you even go to sleep? Because I fell asleep watching you and you woke up and you're still playing. I did go to sleep. After I finished the live stream, I caught up a bit on some news, did some things I needed to get done. With like the channel, responded to some YouTube comments and some other things, went to bed, got up at slept for about 6 hours, got up at 7, took a shower, made myself a delicious egg Sammy for breakfast. Egg Sammy. And then I came back here. And we will be streaming for the next 6 hours. No, 9 hours. Ah, got him. Go away. I missed! Oh my god. Happening.